Greetings, it's Vaygrim in part 3. Weird hiccup there. Part 3 of my mod guide series on Project E. And I think there's going to be a part 4 because I really want to go in depth on things. Now, we've covered quite a bit of stuff. Covalence dust, its use, and you can craft and repair tools with it. Alchemical chests, condensers, and the different speeds of the different ratings of condensers. We've gone over divining rods, energy collectors, antimatter relays, the philosopher's stone, fuel sources, red matter and dark matter. Now here's one thing I need to quick stop at. These furnaces auto-export to a chest that is around them. Here's something important, though, that has been noted by a member of the community. Actually, you know what? I'm going to specifically look up his name. Hang on a sec. Yeah, his name's Blubberbub. He caught me in the Project E IRC channel, hashtag Project E, and he let me know that when this furnace exports to a chest near it, it's doing it through the top, which means if you have something sitting here that counts as eye-sighted or eye-sighted aware, and it's registering as having storage slots, the furnace will import into the top of it, not into the side like you think it would. So that could mean that if you have a whole bunch of furnaces next to each other, there could be, or if you have this next to a normal furnace, this could be automatically exporting into the top slot, the smelting slot of a furnace. Like, let's say, a normal vanilla furnace, or something else. So that's one of the hazards you have to be careful of. There has been a PR, a pull request, to fix this, sent to Sinkiller J with the maintainer of Project E, to correct this so that when it exports to the side, and you don't have to worry about little accidental incidents happening. But do be aware, be careful that you don't have some other machinery, like, say, a grinder sitting right next to this, that is immediately accepting and grinding up everything that's getting exported. So be wary of that. I have a lot of things I want to cover. 2 rows worth. I've had to expand the whole playfield because I really want to make sure and do this thoroughly. Now, the first couple of things I want to cover is the alchemical bag. Now, the alchemical bag actually comes in various colors, and it is made from the alchemical chest. Okay? You get an alchemical chest, you surround it with some wool, some high covalence dust across the top, and you get an alchemical bag. You can make them in different colors depending upon what color of wool you use. I do believe that this is not just Ore Dictionary wool. I don't think you can put anything in there and end up with white. I think you have to have all white wool, or all purple wool, or all blue wool, etc., etc. The one thing I do also appreciate is the fact that there is a color tag on this thing. Yes, the icons change colors, however, there's a color tag in the name of it that I greatly appreciate as well. I think that's very nice. So they're not real hard to make once you get access to alchemical chests over there. The next thing I'm going to want you to make is a repair talisman. This is 2 of each kind of covalence dust, set in a kind of an offset pattern. A couple of pieces of string and a piece of paper. Now what this thing does is it quietly sits in your inventory and it will repair anything that can be repaired. The only hitch is you have to have a Klein star in your inventory. Actually, no, I don't think you do have to have a Klein star. I think this thing works for free. The repair talisman just goes. It's slow, but it does do what it needs to do. So you can get your alchemical bag and put... Oh, I already have one in there. Well, this is the perfect opportunity to show another feature of the alchemical bag. This is not the same bag duplicated. This is a different bag. And I didn't put anything into this bag, but I did into this one, in the box. I mean, in the chest. So, what's going on? If I open up number 1 and pull this repair talisman out, it's gone from number 2. Basically, every color of alchemical bag shares an inventory. Whoops. So, if you put all of your important stuff into a white alchemical bag and then die, if you make another white alchemical bag or keep a spare at home, all of your important stuff is in that bag. That's very important. This thing now has become a very important survival tool for any people that play in a game environment where they don't have keep inventory on, or they don't have gravestones. So that's a big deal. That's very important and worth noting. That's one of the reasons why I loved the alchemical bags way back in Equivalent Exchange 2. I thought they were such a great use because you could save so much of your important stuff. Use them for collecting your ore when you're mining. And if you accidentally die, you will not lose everything. Use it to keep all your spare armor and tools, so if you die, all you lose is the tools on your hotbar and the armor on your body. Everything else, all those wands and wand foci and everything else is still good, which is great. That's an awesome thing. Now, two other survival tools of note, the Evertide Amulet and the Vulcanite Amulet. These things are extremely nice. Basically, once you start making dark matter, specifically of note with the Repair Talisman, before I forget, the Repair Talisman honors a specific NBT, I think it's an NBT or a meta tag or something like that. There's a kind of a tag that a mod developer can tag an item with to say, no repair. Because there are certain things, like there is an actual block in Ars Magica 2 that lets you repair tools. Unless it's got that no repair tag, then it won't work. This does honor that, which means if a mod has tools that are not supposed to be repaired, and they're coded accordingly, this won't work on them anymore. Not in the most recent developer's version of Project E. It did in the older versions, but it will not now. That's important to note. But this works on my saws from, Forge Multipart. It works on my tools, my weapons, my armor, all sorts of great stuff. It's really wonderful. I really do love it. So, if you put this in your bag, everything that you put in that bag will automatically get repaired. But it also does work from your inventory, which means if you just walk around with one sitting in your inventory, your armor will slowly get repaired. It's a nice perk. I like it. Okay, so back to these things. Vulcanite Amulets and Evertide Amulets. Once you start making dark matter, you get 3 dark matter across the middle with water buckets across the top and bottom, and you will get a Vulcanite Amulet, okay? I'm going to pull one off. Same thing for 3 dark matter across the middle, and then lava buckets top and bottom. You get a Vulcanite Amulet. What's the big deal? I'm going to show you. Let's go over here. Okay, this is water. I have an Evertide Amulet that I'm wearing. I'm actually going to put myself in survival mode. I'm not flying. Just walking on water. This is the Evertide Amulet at work. Now here's the other great part. Glub glub. If you'll notice, I have my hands off the keyboard right now. My air bar, the little bubble bar above my food bar, isn't moving. Why is that? Well, the Evertide Amulet grants you 2 distinct benefits. For one, it actually lets you breathe underwater. 2, you can walk on water. That's pretty significant. That means that basically, once you get an Evertide Amulet, building underwater becomes much easier. It also means that traveling great distances across an ocean becomes a lot easier. It's real nice. Now, there's another thing you can do with this. If you hit R, it's the default key, I think. It fires a projectile that creates water at the source point. Ta-da! It's real nice. All operations of the Evertide Amulet are free. And it says that right there in the tooltip. The Vulcanite Amulet is not free. Which means what I need to actually do is go get some EMC. But since we do not have any immediately at our disposal, what I'm going to do is go back into survival mode. Into creative mode. And here's where this is what I was talking about, right? Firing off this projectile. You hit R, default key. You see what happened there? Not only does it create lava, but it actually evaporates water at the same time. So creating water is actually free with the Evertide Amulet. The Vulcanite is not. Takes up EMC. The only reason I'm able to do it is because in creative mode. That's it. You also notice we have some nice obsidian here. Let's block that off. Did I make a hole there? I did. There we go. All of that is clearing up. I could just do that real quick. And I would like to state that these water source blocks are a little weird when you make a water source block this way. You do have to kind of spam this to even out the water surface, but you will get it there eventually. So, yes. Everything you do with the Evertide Amulet is free. If you right-click it on a tank, you'll fill the tank with water. Every click fills it with the bucket of water. The Vulcanite Amulet, every right click on a tank fills it with lava. But all operations cost 32 EMC. So with this one, you have to have a Klein Star actually in your inventory to use it. And when you hit R, 32 EMC gets used and it fires off that lava projectile. Now here's the thing. This is where this is extremely dangerous. If you accidentally hit R and fire off a lava projectile, you can evaporate chunks of ocean. You can burn down parts of your house. It's very dangerous. Which is why what I encourage you to do is put that in there. I think that's the only slot you can put that in. And just keep that that Vulcanite Amulet in your bauble slot. Just leave it there. If you need to do any underwater work or walking across water, you can pull out the Evertide Amulet and put it on your hotbar. Just leave this up there. Pull it out only when you need to fill a tank with lava, but for the most part, just leave it there. And don't mess with it. Because then what you can actually do is not have to worry about the threat of lava in the nether anymore. Now, I'm seeing a little more clearly underwater, because of a specific mod that I have installed that is called, oh gosh, what is it called? Fogner. It lets you see underwater and under lava a lot easier. But, you get the point. It means you can go lava diving in the nether. Now, here's the thing to remember. When you're in lava and you mine something, that block pops off the wall. Even if you have a magnet, it's going to get burned and destroyed by the lava. So you can't exactly going mining under the lava, but you can go at least traveling across or under. It lets you walk on lava as well. So if I get this out, and let's just do back into creative mode. And as you can see, when I actually have this on, I get a speed boost when going across lava, which means that the nether itself there we go, nice and smooth. The nether itself becomes an actual superhighway for you. It's very strange, very interesting, but super useful. So with these two, they're great survival tools, great building tools, and really worth making and just keeping a couple of sitting around. So I'm going to get these and then put them up. Now, here's where we get into some of the more like nitty-gritty tools and things like this. The dark matter pick. That's 3 dark matter across the top and 2 diamonds. This is not cheap. I do recommend that you make this first. And I'll show you why here in a minute. But then there's the dark matter hammer. The hammer is going to be your real useful building buddy. That's 3 diamonds up the middle and then a piece of dark matter on either side. There's the dark matter axe, the shovel, the shears, and the hoe. All these probably do exactly what you think they do. So, with the dark matter pick, not bad, right? I think I can boost it up even more. But here's the thing, right? That's V, to power it up and Shift V to hold it down. I'm just going to do V once. I'm going to right-click on this vein. Now, this vein got cleared out, as well as these other veins of things that I had. It grabbed 5 iron ore, 4 tin ore, and 3 gold. And that's all within the area of half power. If I do full power and right-clicked, it would grab all of this ore. And you don't even have to aim at a specific block. Now, if I want to, I can power it all the way down and just right-click on that ore block, and it will grab it. All of that was cross-connected or close to cross-connected in its mind. And you'll notice that we're actually opening up other stuff in here as we do this. There's some diamonds right there. So if I power this all the way up, right-click, I get everything that was actually in this block that was in reach. So, this is one of the great things about this pickaxe. One of the amazing things is that you can basically mine a lot quicker because you can pull the material themselves straight out of the wall. 7 diamonds, 1 emerald, that's 10 gold, 15 copper, 9 iron, 24 iron, sorry, some tin. So all of this was found just by a simple right click with that actual dark matter axe. It's real cool. Now you get the hammer, and the hammer is, it destroys blocks, right? So I'm just going to get this and fill this in real quick, and you'll see destroys blocks, no big deal. But if you power it up once, 3 by 3, 1 block deep, boom, you just cut a hole straight through a wall. If I power it up again, it goes from 3 by 3 to 5 by 5. Which is real useful. This thing is going to be awesome for powering through doing deep mining, excavations, whatever the case may be. There's the shovel, which does the exact same thing. It is a shovel in the traditional sense. Power it up. I can. One step. It goes very fast, right? Another step, even faster. So you can basically speed it up, but this thing has another secret weapon. If I right-click, everything that is a diggable material, which is clay, sand, dirt, of course, grass blocks, all this stuff, get mined out within a specific area, and it's the same as the hammer. Actually, I think it's a little larger than the hammer. Yeah, it is. It's bigger than the actual hammer's area. So I can actually power through this structure very quickly just with right clicks. And I'm not even in creative. We have that one top layer that I can't reach. Very cool stuff. That's the hammer and the shovel. That's why I recommend that you make those. Now, what I'm actually going to do is... Actually, no. Let's do some bone meal. I'm in creative, so I don't need a lot. And I'm going to do a... Actually, I'm not in creative, am I? Let's find a big tree. What's a big tree? Jungle! Yep, need more bone meal. Forgot, not in creative. Okay, nice tall tree, right? And I can, of course, chop it down with the dark matter axe. If I power it up a little bit, right-click, that tree is gone. It has been turned into wood for me. And I got the saplings back. think I have to separate these out. Now, here's the thing. Ooh, those are taller. If I power this up even more, and I just right-click, not even on the tree, Pipple, gone. I have 4 saplings, and there we go. There's a big one. 28 wood in its place. Now, more than, that's almost a stack and a half. 8 saplings. You get the whole process. You get the idea. Basically, the Dark Matter Axe is just a right-click to enable its special ability. The higher your power bar is under that weapon, that's V and Shift V, the larger the area of effect is. Now, I think if I do... See if we can get another big... There we go, Jungle Tree. Dark Matter Shears, of course. Function as shears. Can I reach that? I don't know if I can reach that or not. Let's... Nerd pull up here so I can stay in... Yeah, see? These behave just like normal shears do. Now, at present, they don't have a right-click ability. And I kind of thought that they actually did. So, that is kind of weird. However, you have Dark Matter Shears that don't take... Yeah, that's more like it. The accidents of being creative. You have Dark Matter Shears that don't take damage. They're infinitely reusable. I figured these would have a right-click area of effect, but they do not. That might be an incident of the fact that Project E is still in development, early stages of development. So we'll see what Sinkiller J has to say about that. But I do think that the Dark Matter Shears are very useful, and you should definitely make some long term, and we'll get to why in a little bit. Now, of course, let's get this up a little bit, way up there. There we go. Get rid of that, and I'm just going to make some space here. Okay, so I have my Evertide Amulet. Going to somewhere right about, let's make a couple. Whoopsie. Okay, so I've got some water and I've got a large field. Da-da-da. Real quick work. That's why I like it. Now, not all of that's going to stay tilled because I don't have enough water in the middle. But you get the point. Basically, the power meter means it affects a larger or smaller area. Right-click, and it tills a whole group of a section of land. You can, of course, drop it down to nothing on the little power bar and do one at a time if you so want. You don't have to till areas. But the hoe is definitely still useful. Let's not do that. Let's do that. And just because, clear up all the clutter. So, okay, that's the Dark Matter tools. Now, here's why I think you should make every single one. There's a Red Matter equivalent for every single one of them. Whatever the Dark Matter tools did, the Red Matter tool does one step larger. So the pickaxe is a little bit faster. It auto-mines when you right-click and it pulls things out of the wall. I kind of refer to it as magnet mining. It does that on an even larger scale, farther away from you, when it's fully powered up. The Red Matter hammer can go up to not 5x5, but 7x7 for a maximum tunnel size. The Red Matter axe can harvest even larger sections of forest. The red matter shovel can excavate even larger holes. I think it goes up to 9. It's either 9 by 9 or 11 by 11. Red matter shears. They are even faster equivalents of the dark matter shears. Red matter hoe, even larger areas of land automatically tilled. Now, there is a sword that I left off. I think I left out the dark matter sword. Wow, that's embarrassing. Did I? I did. Wow, okay. So there is a dark matter sword. That's it right there. The dark matter sword is basically where the red matter is, it's 2 dark matter and a diamond at the bottom. But it's not that great of a sword in the grand scheme of things right now. But I still think you should make it. Now, why is that? Let's see, where is it? Yeah, dark matter sword doesn't really do that much damage. There are swords from other mods that do a lot more damage. Even with the red matter sword, it does not hit quite as hard. The atomic disassembler from Mechanism hits harder. Okay? However, when you get these and all of these tools, what you can do is you can combine them into these two. The red Katar and the red Morningstar. These are your ultimate end-game, end-all utility devices. They are the last 2 tools, air quotes, that you will ever need on your bar. Okay? It is, the red Katar is shears, axe, sword, and hoe all rolled into one, with red matter filling out the rest of that. So, if I pull this off, you'll notice deforestation mode. Is it, yeah, G, default for me, I think it was, is hoe mode, which means I can go over here. If I power it all the way up, ta-da! If I go to shear mode, I would be able to shear a large tree area. Attack mode. This is actually right-click, does attack damage to everything within your area around you. The larger the power bar is set to, the larger the area. Now, this is good and bad. This means if you're in the nether and you right-click it and you do a whole bunch of damage to, let's say, some spiders or some imps in the nether, if there are any zombie pigmen nearby, you just aggroed a whole bunch of them. However, all you have to do is keep right-clicking and backing up away from the zombie pigmen, and it will work like a charm. Then we go back to deforestation mode, which is basically the axe. Right-click to chop down trees. When I'm walking around my house, I just leave the red Katar in attack mode. That's the easiest. It is the safest. You're not going to accidentally mow down half of your wooden house. That is a really good option. Yeah. Then there's the red Morningstar. It is your new digging tool and construction tool. It has the hammer, the pickaxe, and the shovel all built into one. Which means, if I get this and power it up, now this has no mode settings. It just always is. I'm going to set myself into survival mode. Whoopsie. That's a little better. Real fast work. Actually going to narrow it down just a little bit. And also, let's get... You see? Real quick work. Even in survival mode. That is no creative mode magic. So, I really do encourage you to make all of the dark matter tools and then upgrade them into all of the red matter tools. Specifically so you can have these two wondrous devices, the Katar and the Morningstar. These are great. This means that you have a sword, an axe, some shears, a hoe, a shovel, a hammer, a pickaxe, and a shovel, all in 2 spaces on your hotbar and a couple of keystrokes. That's it. Now, you do have to be careful with these things. If you walk around with your Morningstar powered up and you break 1 block in the wall of your house, you've just busted an 11 by 11 hole in the side of your home. So I always make sure that when I'm walking around with it, it's powered down. That way, it's only 1 block at a time. Not that big an issue. So this is why I really do encourage you to make all of this stuff. It's so useful long game. And it's also a great use for making more red matter and putting that red matter to use. So I'm going to be covering the very last section in Part 4. Part 4 is going to have stuff like some of the jewelry and rings. It's going to cover the interdiction torch and a few other things. Oh, and the armor. The armor is going to be in Part 4, and it's going to cover the very last bits. And tricks might be a little long, but we'll see. So there's still some tricks up the sleeve for Project D. Stay tuned for Part 4. There's still a lot to cover. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate you guys swinging by and spending some time with me. I'm hoping this has been educational and interesting, and I'm hoping you're learning about the mod. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.